The topic of discussion is artery wool constriction and shunt vessel. So, through this artery wool constriction to different part of our body, blood is a constriction and relaxation of this artery wool. Blood is regulated to different part of our body. Let's suppose this is artery wool and this is taking blood toward this is artery wool and this artery wool is taking this blood toward your capillary, right? This part is capillary, okay? So let's suppose if this artery wool muscle relax and it is wide, if it is relaxed, so it means artery wool diameter is wide. So more blood is moving toward your capillaries. So it means more blood is going to your body parts. But let's suppose if this artery wool constrict, if this artery wool muscle and this artery wool can contract, so is a result of that artery wool will constrict. So at that time, what will happen? Less blood will move toward your capillaries, right? So let's suppose these are that capillaries, and this is now what venule. So you see here, this artery wool constrict, this become narrow. And when it become narrow, so it means less blood is going to that capillaries. So that condition is called what? Artery wool constriction, right? Or we can also say this vasoconstriction. Vasoconstriction. Your blood vessel become constrict. And less blood is moving toward your capillaries. In this case, you can see here, your artery will become dilate. So this condition is called what? Vasodilation. So a blood vessel is dilating, it means the diameter of that blood vessel or the lumen of that blood vessel become wide, become more space create in that, so more blood will flow to that. But if the blood vessel constricting, it means that the lumen becomes small, the lumen become narrow, so it become narrow, so less blood is moving through that, so less blood will go to capillaries, right? So by this mechanism, our different part of our body, blood movement is regulated. Now we are taking here example of shunt vessel. Example of shunt vessel. Shunt vessel is present in near your skin, right? Okay, so shunt vessel is what, actually it is near in your skin. It is a small blood vessel. And what is the function of that? It actually regulating the blood flow to your skin. That is regulating the blood flow to your skin. And how that is regulating blood flow to your skin, let me discuss. See, we will consider here two conditions. One condition I will consider what? I will consider one condition cold. If the temperature is cold, right? So, shunt vessel is actually a small blood vessel that is connecting artery wool with what? With venule. This is venule. So that is connecting artery wool with venule. Now, you can see here, boys, it is connecting artery wool with venule. Let's see. In this case, you can see here, we need that the blood should, because the condition is cold, and we need that the blood should remain inside our body internal organ, because blood is distributing heat, and we don't want that heat should last from our body in the form of radiation. If blood is moving more to skin, so more heat will lost in the form of radiation from the body. But the condition is cold. We need that the blood should remain in our body. So for that reason, what will happen? hypothalamus, it's a part of brain that will send impulse to this artery, right, to become dilate. It will send impulse to this shunt vessel to become dilate. So shunt vessel will become what? Dilate. And when shunt vessel become dilate, so what will happen? More blood will move toward through that shunt vessel to venue. It means less blood will go to your skin. So when less blood is moved, because most of the blood divert through shunt vessel to venue, because most of the blood bypass capillaries. So less blood will move to your capillary of skin. So less heat will loss. Okay. Now, one case this is clear. So let's suppose a condition is very hot. At that time, what will happen? Hypothalamus will detect that. And hypothalamus will send impulse to your shunt vessel. And what will happen? Shunt vessel will become constrict. Constrict means become narrow. So when it become narrow, you can see the pipe become very small, right? So more blood will move toward your skin. Okay, only less blood is going to this shunt vessel because most of the blood is now diverted toward your capillaries. So most of blood will go toward your capillaries. Where more blood is going to your capillaries, so it means more heat loss will happen from your skin in form of radiation, and thus your body temperature will regulate. Thus your body temperature will decrease. Okay, so this condition is what? Hot. Let me repeat once again. If it is hot, so my body want to lose heat. So for that reason, more blood have to move to skin so that radiation happen and the heat loss from our body occur, right? So for that reason, the shunt vessel become what? Constrict. And when shunt vessel become constrict, it means the shunt vessel become narrow. When shunt vessel become narrow, so less blood is bypassing from capillaries. But actually more blood is moving to toward capillaries. Actually more blood is moving toward your skin. If more blood is going toward your skin, it means more heat loss will happen from your skin, and thus body temperature will decrease. Is it clear? So what's just write it here? Vasodilation, right? Vasodilation, and this is vasoconstriction. Vasoconstriction and vasodilation. Now I hope it's clear. Dear students, the topic of discussion for today is lymphatic system. Okay. Okay. What is actually lymphatic system? Lymphatic system is another transport system in human body that is actually transporting the liquid that come out, or the plasma portion that come out from your blood. We call that portion of blood that get out from blood because of pressure, right? We call that lymphatic fluid. And that lymphatic fluid will take back by the transport system, that lymphatic system, and will mix with your blood. So let's discuss that in detail. Let's suppose okay, let's suppose this is your artery, right? And definitely arteriole will divide into what? Into capillaries. Okay. You can see here, this part I will label it what? Arteriole. And this part I will label it venule. And you know, this part, you know, these are what? These are capillaries. Definitely, you know, this arteriole will divide into what? Capillaries and your tissue, right? In order to provide nutrient and oxygen to your cells, okay? So these are what? Capillaries. All right. Now, let's suppose blood is coming through this arteriole. Blood is coming through this arteriole and that will enter to these capillaries. Okay. Now, we know that blood contains two parts. One is cellular part that contains red blood cell and white blood cell. All right. While red blood cell, white blood cell and platelets, that part is cellular part. While the liquid part is called plasma, that I'm going to show you what white color you can see. So this part of blood is called what? Plasma. Plasma is the liquid part of blood, right? This plasma contain what? This contain water, minerals, hormones, and antibodies, all that, you know. All right. So this part of blood is called what? Plasma. Right. So different gases are there, right? Like carbon dioxide, oxygen, okay, in the plasma portion of blood. Now, if you see here, this blood have to pass through what? Through these capillaries, right? This blood have to pass through these capillaries. Okay, and when it is passing through these capillaries, so outside is your body cells. These are your cells. Okay, these are your tissue cells, right? Okay. Now, if you see here, when blood is coming from arteriole to these capillaries, so initially, you know, the pressure initially at this site, pressure is more. And because of that pressure, the small thing, right, that will squeeze out or that will get out from through capillary pores. You know, these, if you check, capillary is one cell thick, and you know, there are small pores, there are small gaps in the lining of capillaries, or in the cell of capillaries, there are small holes, right? So through that, for example, this is capillaries and blood is going on that, right? So that small molecules will come out through that pores of capillaries. So through that pores, red blood cell, right? Like those cells that are big, they cannot come out. But the plasma portion, that liquid portion of blood will come out. Which portion of blood will come out? Liquid portion of blood will come out. But there will be no protein, high molecular weight protein or large protein will not come out. That will squeeze out. If you see here, this plasma portion now squeeze out or come out from what? From your capillaries and that bathed your cell, that covered your cells. Okay, that covered your cells. Now, this plasma, as I told you, that it contains gases, like especially in this case, this contains oxygen gas. So now, let's suppose this is your cell. Let's suppose this is your cell. Okay, this is your cell. Okay, and this cell covered by what? By that plasma portion of blood. This is now called what? Tissue fluid. This plasma portion will come out from your capillary, right? But this portion having no protein and it covered your cell, right? So actually, this provides a transport medium. This is your capillary, let's suppose. Okay, so what happened through this plasma portion? This plasma contains what? Oxygen. Now it's called tissue fluid. Now it's outside. So they provide a transport medium for oxygen. So oxygen will enter to the cell for what? For respiration. Okay, glucose will enter to the cell for respiration. So yeah, it's definitely for respiration or storage, right? While waste material like carbon dioxide, urea, lactic acid, that will mix with that plasma, and that plasma will help to take that back to your blood. How it will help? See, the word plasma here I am modifying. This is now covering your cell. This is called tissue fluid. This tissue fluid, you see, for example, 800% plasma come out from your blood. How much? 100%. Out of that 100%, 90% of that tissue fluid or that plasma will go back, will mix with your, it will enter to these capillaries back. Why 90% will enter back to these capillaries? Because, you know, here the first thing is, you know, the pressure here decrease. Initially there were more pressure, but now the pressure here decrease. When the pressure decrease, so because of that reason it will enter. And second thing, inside this blood now it's more concentrated. Solutes are more inside these capillaries. So we know that this plasma will now move from dilute to concentrated region, right? By process of osmosis. We already study of osmosis or diffusion. You can use the word here, diffusion, no problem, right? So it will enter to your capillaries back through diffusion. Water is osmosis, specific word for that water. So that's why I will use the word diffusion. So it will enter from dilute region to concentrated region. Why this is concentrated? Because that lost that plasma there already. So the blood become concentrated. Now that will enter to that portion. Okay, so this 90% mix with your blood back. This mix with your blood mixed. What will happen with this 10%? This is a question. This 10% will mix through your lymphatic system to your blood. Okay, what is lymphatic system? You know, if for example the blood is passing through this capillary again and again, and that is losing 10% of plasma, so what will happen? Your blood will become thick, and when your blood become thick, you know, when your blood become thick, so it will be difficult for blood to move through that to your blood vessel. It will be difficult for that. Okay, that's why for this 10%, we need what? We need lymphatic system. Through lymphatic system, it will mix with your, through lymphatic system, it will mix with your blood again. So now what is lymphatic system? Let us discuss that. Now for this remaining 10%, we need lymphatic system. Lymphatic system will take this back toward your, and it will mix with your blood. You know, like if it enter to this 90% enter, but 100% is not possible. This is not much ideal condition to be. And the second thing, when that enter, when that 90% enter, so in and outside, you know, the solution also approximately becomes same. So it is difficult for the, I'm talking about the concentration. So it is difficult for this 10% to enter back to these capillaries. So for that reason, you know, this 10% have to mix with, have to enter through your lymphatic system to your blood. So, you know, lymphatic system actually, these are small, you know, capillaries, be with me. These are small, different, that cover your cells like these capillaries, that is called lymphatic capillaries. And lymphatic capillaries will form what? Lymphatic capillaries will form lymphatic vessel. So you can see here that covered your tissue. So this is lymphatic vessel. Lymphatic vessel. And these are, you know what, lymphatic capillaries. Is it okay? Now, up to here, I hope this is clear, right? See here, boys. For example, I will draw to you here lymphatic capillaries. See, for example, okay? And that several lymphatic capillary form what? Lymphatic vessel. Okay, you can see this here in this picture also. You can see, but let me change the color so that we are able to discuss it well. So this, you can see these are lymphatic vessel. Now these lymphatic capillaries, what these are exactly doing, these lymphatic capillaries is actually collecting that 10% of tissue fluid back. So these lymphatic capillaries, you know, from one end, you can see here, this, the ending of lymphatic capillaries, okay, that is what we will make these lymphatic capillary like blunt, okay, from up in, this is blunt, and then it open to what? Lymphatic vessel. You can see here, it is like lymphatic capillaries, and that form what? Lymphatic vessel. So out ending is blunt, right? Not open. Now, this is, for example, I'm considering one lymphatic capillary, right? And I'm taking one the cells of this lymphatic capillary. These are one cell thick, but the cells are in this manner. They are like this. You can see. Okay. And same for the another lining, it's like this, right? So what is happening exactly? That this is lymphatic capillaries. Boys, be with me. This is the lining of lymphatic capillaries. Okay. What happened exactly? Let's suppose outside this is tissue fluid. This tissue fluid will come here and put and having force over the wall of this capillary. So because of that, this cell will little bit squeeze and it will open, the gap will open more. And this tissue fluid will enter to these lymphatic capillaries. Now this tissue fluid is called what? Lymph, right? And later on, these lymphatic capillaries will unite and that will form what? Lymphatic vessel. Remember, when they unite and form lymphatic vessel, so this lymphatic vessel having what? That having valve. Okay, so when this cross this valve, so that valve will close back. It means it prevent the backflow of this lymph back. This valve prevent the backflow of what? The backflow of this fluid. Okay, and second thing, when your muscle is contracting and relaxing, when your muscle is contracting and relaxed, when your muscle is contracting, it is squeezing this lymph toward. So that is going through that, right? And at last, that lymph will come where that lymph will mix with your venous system. This will mix with your venous system. It will mix with your subclavian vein, right? Why it will mix? You can see here, that lymph came here and that mix with your venous system here, right? That mix with your venous system. That means it mixes with your vein, especially subclavian vein. Why it mixes with vein? Because that blood can enter to vein easily as compared to artery, because artery having a high pressure. If, for example, you have two pipe and one pipe water is going at high pressure, and you are connecting another pipe to that, so the material of this pipe will very hardly enter to that. But in one pipe water is going high pressure and you are connecting another pipe, so the another pipe material will go to that pipe easily because the pressure is less in that. That's why it is connected with what? Venous system, with your vein, and that lymph will now mix with your blood. Okay, I hope up to here this is clear. All right, now another point is I discussed with you about that last day, lacteal capillaries, right? Lacteal lymphatic capillary. What is the function of that? Okay, before going to lacteal lymphatic capillary, let me discuss about lymphatic node. Remember, boys, whenever this lymph is going through your lymphatic vessel, whenever it is going through that, on the way, it will pass through different specialized structure. Many specialized structure are there in your body. That is called what? Lymphatic node. Lymphatic node. And these lymphatic node having what? Lymphocytes. And whenever this fluid or this lymph is passing through this lymphatic node is actually filtering that lymph from any pathogen up, and any toxic thing is there, so that is filtering that. Is it okay? Actually, that lymphocyte is these lymphocytes are actually cleaning blood from pathogen. So it means why they are cleaning from pathogen? Maybe the tissue in which the tissue or the cell that through which this lymph pass, maybe that may be infected tissue. So because of that reason, that lymph may contain some toxic material. Before mixing through blood, it have to pass through these lymphs, right? They have to pass through this lymphatic node. So lymphatic node is actually cleaning the blood. Okay. All right. So let me check again. Who want to say something? So when this lymphatic lymph pass through your lymphatic node, so it's filtered by lymphocytes and phagocyte cells. Okay, so that there should be, make sure that blood should be clean of pathogen or free of pathogen. At the end, this will enter to what? This plasma will enter to your venous system, right? It will mix with your venous system. Okay, and when it mixes with your venous system or to vein, when it enters to your subclavian vein, so what will happen? That vein definitely that will give blood to your heart, right? Through that, blood will enter to your heart. And now that plasma is the part of your circulate. Now that lymph is the part of your circulatory system. Okay, so is it clear? So that will definitely, it will enter to what? Through vena cava toward your right portion of your heart. And now that's the part of your circulatory system. one thing more I just want to clear here, lectile gland, right? Or lectile capillary, right? Lectile lymphatic capillaries. What is the function of that? Actually, you can see here. All right. So you can see here, this is lectile lymphatic capillaries, that is absorbing what fat from your small intestine, right? So because it's difficult for fats to enter to your blood capillaries because of the small pore size, right? So because of that reason, that lectile capillary absorbs large fats from your small intestine, and then it mix with your blood through that lymphatic system. Lectile is actually what? It is actually lymphatic capillary. All right. Now, if you see here, we discuss about the function of that. So, you know, the first function is what it's help in filtering of blood, so lymphatic system having rule and immune system. Another absorption of fat from your body, right? Dear students, this question is related with lymphatic system, right? If you see here, first of all, you should know about what are these parts. So this is, if you see here, this and this blood flow, H means blood is flowing. And if you see here, this lumen is very narrow, it's approximately that operate that cell. And the second thing is, you see this is one cell, another cell. So this is one cell thick lining from both sides. So H means this is your blood capillary, right? This is your blood capillary. And now, if you see here, definitely when blood is going through this capillary, something is coming out. What is that? Like the small molecules are coming out from that. What small? Small is actually what? Actually, you know, a cell, this blood cell can't come out. This cellular portion can't come out, but liquid portion of blood will come out because of pressure here. And that liquid portion of blood is actually lymphatic fluid. When that lymphatic fluid covered all these cells, we call that what? Lymphatic tissue, right? Now, this lymphatic fluid, actually, this act is a transport medium for what? So this lymphatic fluid contain what? Glucose, so that are giving glucose to cell. This lymphatic fluid contain oxygen, and this lymphatic fluid contain amino acids that need for the cell, so that are providing that. Okay. Now, you know, when it give that to cell, so definitely some waste material will be removed, where waste material will enter to this lymph, because in cell, urea, lactic acid, carbon dioxide, it will mix with that lymphatic fluid. And that lymphatic fluid, some will go back toward your, most 90% will go back toward your capillaries, right? Because, you know, it's the part near to venule, so pressure is this here. It will go back, while 10% will enter to another small capillary called what? Called lymphatic capillary. And several lymphatic capillaries will form what? Lymphatic vessel. So here, you can see here, you know, here this lymph will enter to this lymphatic vessel. Okay. Now, when it enter to this lymphatic vessel, inside this lymphatic vessel, this is called what? Now, lymph. This tissue fluid called what? Lymph. Now, when it enter to this lymphatic capillaries, and similar capillary will form lymphatic vessel, right? Now, they will moving toward where? To mix with your venous system. On the way, that will pass through lymphatic node. Is it clear? Right? Now, up to here, this clear. Now, let's see the question. What are related question with this? Question number first is, state how oxygen passes from capillary into cell Q. Means how oxygen is passing from blood to cell Q. So definitely, if inside blood oxygen more and outside less, so by the process of diffusion, it will enter to your cell. And this oxygen function is what? See here, if here oxygen is more, so amount of oxygen more and inside the cell is. So by the process of diffusion, it will enter to that cell. And this cell will, this oxygen will utilize for what? For respiration, for energy production, for breakdown of glucose molecule. All right. Now another question we have, state two substances required by cell other than oxygen that passes from blood to tissue fluid. So what are the substances that that need for the cell, and that is passing from blood to what? Tissue fluid, and through tissue fluid it will enter to your cell, right? So here in the question they mentioned that need by cell. So what cell will need? Cell need glucose, right? Cell need ions, cell need vitamins, cell need amino acids. These substances can enter, that will enter from that tissue fluid to your cell. Yes, water. All right. I hope up to here this is clear. Now, another one we have, name two substances produced by cell that passes from tissue fluid to blood. It is. What substance are producing by cell and that are entering to where? That, let me repeat once again. Name two substances produced by cell that passes from tissue fluid to S. Blood it is. So let us check what is blood it is. So blood it is, let me check. So blood is present here. Blood, you can see here, this is actually, let me check the question once again. Name two substances produced by cell that passes from tissue fluid to the blood it is. So at position is, that tissue fluid is mixing with your capillary once again. So at this point, what this substance from cell will enter, it will mix with your blood. So waste material that produced by cell, it is carbon dioxide that is produced is the result of what? Respiration. That will be urea that produce, that is a waste material that produced in the cell. And water can also enter. Lactic acid that produces the result of anaerobic respiration that will enter to your blood to reach to liver for further process. Okay. All right. So I hope this is clear. So now another question we have, with reference to figure 5.1, describe and explain two ways in which capillaries are adapted to their function. So if you see here capillary, first thing is this is one cell thick. One cell thick. One cell thick means it is very thin. If this is thin capillary, so why it is like this? So that there is less space between cell and your blood, between cell and red blood cell. So this oxygen and other nutrients diffuse easily and reach the cell easily. Okay. Another point, capillary having pores. Through these pores, small molecules can pass through that easily and to reach the cell easily. Right? What's another point? What should be? Another point we have that if lumen is small of capillary, it means material will go through that, or blood will go through that. Blood will go through that very slowly. It means there will be more time for material to, or there will be more time for exchange, so that the substance enter, so that the molecule enter to your cell and take back the waste material. There will be more time for that because the lumen is small, so it will take time for the blood. And another thing, capillaries make a capillaries bed. and your tissue, it's spread in your tissue. Capillaries, there are many capillaries that spread in your tissue that increase the surface area. And if it increases the surface area, so more diffusion will happen, more material will enter the cell and more will collect back, waste material will collect back. So this is the importance of that. Is it clear? All right. Now, let's move toward another question. Tissue fluid drain into vessel P at T and eventually return to blood. Name the type of vessel labeled P. So let's see. What is this one? You can see P. You know, this tissue fluid is entering and then through this vessel, it will reach your venous system or it will mix with your blood. So what is this? With us, this is lymphatic vessel. Lymphatic vessel. All right. Another point, explain how fluid passes along this vessel. So, you know, how fluid passing along this vessel. The first thing is, you know, they having inside lymphatic vessel. First thing is, you know, between the cells, you can see there is gap, right? So you can see here, let me go toward that. Between the cells, here are gaps, right? This gap they can pass. Second, when it moves through lymphatic vessel and contain valves inside that. And when this fluid is passing the valve, that fluid can't come back. That valve actually ensure the flow of lymph, it's prevent the backflow of that lymph. And how that is doing, when your muscle is contracting, it is squeezing that fluid, it is putting pressure over that fluid, and that fluid is moving through your lymphatic vessel. Right? I hope this is clear.